Get ready for an explosion of cinema news. We are diving straight into the Cannes Film Festival with incredible reveals. We are talking about the new slate of films, and we start with the Spanish director Pedro Almodovar. Find out how he is tackling grief and artistry in his new movie Amarga Navidad, exploring a layered story about an advertising director grappling with loss and an alter ego. This metatextual project promises a deep look into how an artist processes pain through their work. You absolutely do not want to miss this insight into the genius of Almodovar.
Stop using your finger for notes, sketches, and edits. This Jam Jake stylus pen gives your iPad a smoother, more precise writing feel with palm rejection so your hand can rest naturally on the screen. It charges fast, works for hours, and comes with replacement tips. Perfect for school, work, or creative projects. Check the link in the comments to grab it on Amazon.
Next up, we shift focus to the intense world of horror and psychosexual drama at Cannes. Hannah Einbinder is starring in director Jane Scombrunn's new feature, Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma. Get the inside scoop on Einbinder's role as Kreese, a queer filmmaker determined to recast a slasher franchise and navigate a blurring line between reality and fiction in this intense new project. The title alone suggests a journey into the depths of psychological tension. Now, let's talk about the romantic and dramatic currents sweeping the festival. Renate Reinsve is set to shine alongside Sebastian Stan in Christian Mungju's Fjord, playing a devout couple moving to a Norwegian fjord town where their union faces serious ideological clashes. We will explore this story of family dynamics, cultural divides, and the challenges of building a life together in a stunning new setting. And finally, we wrap up with the massive spectacle of the 2026 Cannes Film Festival itself. We are bringing you live coverage details for the opening ceremony and the opening film broadcast happening in Paris on May 12th. Featuring Peter Jackson as the guest of honor receiving a Palme d'Or d'Honneur, this is how you can experience the magic of the 79th edition remotely. Don't miss this massive cinematic event, so stay tuned right here for all the latest updates. The Cannes Film Festival is gearing up for its 79th edition, kicking off May 12 and running through May 23. Promising a diverse and provocative slate despite a notable absence of major Hollywood productions. The festival is set to welcome returning talents like Japanese director Ryusuke Hamaguchi and Nicholas Winding Refn, and features a stellar lineup of international stars including Renate Reinsve, Kristen Stewart, Hannah Einbinder, and Lea Seydoux. Screenings will range from psychosexual dramas to historical epics, and even a 25th anniversary celebration of Fast and Furious. Scrutinizing the competition, several films are generating significant buzz. Pedro Almodovar is set to present Amarga Navidad, a metatextual film exploring grief through the lens of an advertising director and a filmmaker writing about her alter ego. Hannah Einbinder stars in Jane Scombrunn's Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma, where Einbinder plays Kreese, a queer filmmaker attempting to recast a horror franchise's final girl, leading to a complex psychosexual narrative. Renate Reinsve joins Sebastian Stan in Christian Mungju's Fjord, a Romanian new wave film exploring family clashes in a Norwegian fjord town. Adam Driver and Miles Teller headline Paper Tiger, a thriller rumored to focus on brothers chasing the American dream who end up involved with the Russian mafia, anticipated to be a leading contender for the Palme d'Or. French filmmaker Arthur Harari's third feature, The Unknown, loosely adapts a graphic novel featuring Lea Seydoux alongside Niels Skinder, promising a psychological fantasy. Marie Clémentine Dusabe Jambo delivers Benimana, a heart-wrenching story about Rwandan survivors grappling with intergenerational trauma following the 1994 genocide. Nicholas Winding Refn returns with the horror feature Her Private Hell, set in futuristic Tokyo, featuring Sophie Thatcher and promising intense visuals and themes of sex and violence. Bertrand Mandico is expected to push boundaries with sensory-driven films, including the highly anticipated Roma Elastica, which features Marion Cotillard as an actress in 1980s Rome. Ryusuke Hamaguchi's latest film, All of a Sudden, will delve into unlikely companionship in a Parisian suburb, exploring themes of caretaking and terminal illness. Leia Seydoux also stars in Marie Kreutzer's Gentle Monster, which examines a pianist's burnout and her relationship with a man grappling with internal malaise. Quentin Dupier's first English-language film, Full Fill, features Kristen Stewart and Woody Harrelson in an absurdist tale involving a luxurious trip to Paris. Rami Malek stars in Ira Sachs, The Man I Love, the only American feature in competition, chronicling a theater star's life with AIDS. Finally, Asghar Farhadi's Parallel Tales, featuring Isabelle Huppert, Vincent Cassel, and Catherine Deneuve, is a loose remake of a TV series, delving into psychosexual tension and adultery. Maharashtra Cultural Affairs Minister Ashish Shelar has cancelled his planned attendance at the Cannes Film Festival following an appeal from Prime Minister Narendra Modi urging restraint and national prioritization. Speaking on Monday, Shelar stated that the decision was made as part of a broader governmental effort to exercise prudence in expenditure while focusing on national interests. Despite canceling his physical presence, Shelar confirmed that official work will continue virtually, and support for Marathi films at the prestigious festival remains unaffected. Thierry Frémaux, the general delegate of the Festival de Cannes and festival director for the past 25 years, addressed the assembled media at his annual pre-festival press conference, offering insights into the festival's complex political landscape and industry dynamics. Despite decades of scrutiny, Frémaux maintained a focused demeanor. When questioned about the absence of films from certain nations, including Italy, in the official competition, Frémaux acknowledged the questions but steered the discussion toward the inherent political nature of Cannes. He referenced historical context, noting that the festival's formation was deeply political, tracing its roots back to the tensions between fascist regimes and the subsequent launch of Cannes in 1939. He contrasted this with the festival's current environment, questioning whether it remains as politically charged as in the past. Frémaux also addressed recent controversies surrounding commentary on politics at the festival, specifically referencing comments made by Wim Wenders, the jury president of the Berlin Film Festival, which led to significant friction for creative director Trisha Tuttle. Frémaux defended the festival's core mission, suggesting that Wenders' remarks were taken out of context and emphasizing that Cannes Foundation is inherently political. Regarding jury decisions, Frémaux pointed to the recent Palme d'Or win for Jafar Panahi's Just a Little Accident as an example of the jury favoring certain works. He invited journalists to press directors for answers, stating, "You can ask the question to directors every day, but do they want to answer? We'll have to see." On structural changes, Frémaux commented on the new Oscars rule allowing automatic submissions from winners of major international film festivals, viewing it as a positive step to potentially mitigate issues like the snubbing of Anatomy of a Fall. However, he suggested that other festivals should be included as arbitrators, and that nations should be permitted to submit multiple films. Addressing Hollywood representation, Frémaux stressed that studio strategies dictate selection, noting that the industry is increasingly open to rewarding international cinema. When questioned about the lack of studio films in competition, he cited specific examples, including a delay that prevented a film, one battle after another, from securing a premiere, and expressed hope that studio films would return. He concluded by noting that while specific films might have achieved greater success had they been timed differently, there are currently more American films screening than in previous years. The 2026 Cannes Film Festival is scheduled to take place from May 12 to 23, with complete coverage available on the channel YouTube. The Cannes Film Festival 2026 is set to commence with a significant live broadcast event in Paris. Following a successful precedent set in 2025, where over 780 cinemas across 700 French towns broadcast the ceremony and opening film, this year's event will replicate that tradition. Organized by the Cannes Film Festival in collaboration with France Télévisions, the National Federation of French Cinemas, and the CNC, with support from AFCA, the broadcast is scheduled for Tuesday evening, May 12th, in cinemas throughout Paris and the Ile-de-France region, including venues such as the MK2 Odeon, MK2 Bibliothèque, and MK2 Nation. The live screening will feature the opening ceremony, hosted by I Haidara, and will highlight the presence of a major guest of honor. New Zealand filmmaker, producer, and screenwriter Peter Jackson, who is slated to receive a Palme d'Or d'Honneur recognizing his career achievements. In addition to the ceremony, the opening film, La Venus Electrique by Pier Salvadori, will be screened at the conclusion of the event. For cinephiles unable to attend the festival in person, there will be remote participation options available for this 3-star event. The 79th edition of the prestigious festival runs from May 12 to 23, 2026.